my world. That's my life, I'm telling you. Me drinking coffee.
Anybody ever filmed your eyebrows in an interview before? Good God.
I'm edging on Ronnie McCurry eyebrows. It's getting pretty close.
I can't comment on that.
He's got some eyebrows.
Those are bluegrass strength eyebrows.
Yes, they are.
So we're theoretically going.
Sweet. I'm theoretically blowing on coffee.
Alright. So we're here with Jeff Austin. Hi, Jeff. Wave to one of the many cameras.
Hello, hello.
There aren't any over there, but
Hi.
if we could pretend.
I'm pretending.
Right.
The red wall gives me all the camera I need. Basic, kind of run-of-the-mill, average, ordinary year. Yeah, a lot of changes, a lot of stuff. You know, my wife and I had a baby girl, and I have this great new group of guys I get to play music with, and it's the work continues. The work is ongoing at all times. So.
Baby girl.
The baby girl.
Can we be nosy for a second?
Yeah.
How geeky is that for you?
It's so geeky. I grew up a mama's boy. I was an only child from a single mom, and when I met my wife, you know, my stepdaughter's 7.5 now, and I don't even think of her as a stepdaughter. She's my kid, you know. But to go through that process of having her be born and all that stuff was just, you know, for me it was always when people talked about it beforehand. You know, I thought, I get it. Like you don't get it until it happens. But it's been amazing. Her name's Penelope, and we've had because of all the changes and everything that happened. One of the huge benefits of all that stuff is I got to be home, and I took the first summer off I've had in 18 years, and just really turned off and didn't have my cell phone on, and didn't, you know, do anything, say anything, read anything, do anything like that. And it was just great to just be able to be home with my wife and my kids, and enjoy Colorado in the summer, and you know, it was an amazing change, and it gave me a lot of pause and a lot of slowing down, you know, a lot of different pace. You know, I've been working on a different pace for a couple of years with life in general, and then all of a sudden this change happened, and it couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been really more amazingly timed, you know, for life in general. So
sometimes the universe gives you what you need, not what you think you need.
Exactly.
You mentioned the new band. Now you've got Danny Barnes, who you've collaborated with a bunch over the years.
Danny and I've played together. We figured it out 10, 11 years. You know, we've been playing music together. And the whole band, the band as a whole, whenever I did a lot of projects, these Jeff Austin and Friends things in Colorado. I did a lot of those, and it was really kind of a loose thing. You know, there'd be a lot of people coming over to jam, and you know, guests and stuff. The band for the majority of those was Danny Barnes and Eric Tureen, who plays bass, were involved in those projects. So in turn, Eric and I have been playing music for a long time together too. The way the two of us approach rhythm and stuff is a lot of similarity in the way that we approach the beat and the one and the downbeat and the upbeat and all that stuff, you know. Not just the beats themselves, the space that lives in between, you know, the space that lives in between. That's as important as going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, you know, it's all those little. In addition to all that, Ross Martin, who's in the band, Eric and he have been playing together for a long time, in every kind of imaginable lineup. They were members with Matt Flinner, with the Matt Flinner Trio, you know, writing songs every day and creating new stuff every single day. When we got together, even though it was the first time the ensemble had played together, there was a familiarity to it that was very natural because of how much time Danny and I had spent playing together, and Eric and I and Danny, and then Eric and Ross, you know. So it was a real, the working at the nuances is the big thing. knowing the language was already there, you know. So, and that was a huge help because it's all new music, you know. There's very few songs from before, so there's a lot of brand new stuff, which is something I really wanted to do, you know, to not just rehash something, to create something new, because it is, you know. So this is new, let it be new. Even the songs that we play that people might recognize were played, you know, there's a What the Night Brings and Ragdoll songs that people might know,
Yeah.
were originally played with Danny and Eric. You know, when Eric and I were doing the 30 dB project with Brendan Bayless and Cody Dickinson, Nick Forster, the first tour we did, I said, here's this tune, and it was What the Night Brings. And that song only existed like that for a while. And then Eric and I and Danny, with I think Bill Nershi, did a project, did a couple shows and sped it up to bluegrass. And then Ragdoll, you know, Danny and I wrote Ragdoll together, so we played that together. And
One of my favorites.
yeah, it's to play that. And the thing is that it's not anything that people might have heard. It's not trying to be a cover band, you know, not trying to sound like anything else. It's to give it its own originality, you know. Like Ragdoll with this band has turned into a wide open explorative space of bending time and, you know, particles in the whole universe, and it's a blast. It's such a different, fulfilling experience, you know, from having played it before. It feels like a brand new song, you know.
I caught you guys at the Hangtown Festival during the late night. You guys, that was about a 30-minute Ragdoll with maybe a 20-minute psychedelic freak out there.
Ooh, yeah, that would be a good way to put it. That would be a good way to put it. The biggest difference with this new band is we have, you know, you've got guys who have such a wide language of compositional stuff and jazz-oriented stuff, and these are guys that they live that stuff and breathe that stuff, you know, in addition to bluegrass and roots and rock and this sort of thing. So to get to share in that with them, it allows things to go in different directions, you know. And instead of, you know, okay, well, these three guys will play rhythm and this guy will solo. And at the end of his solo time, it will go to this guy. And then everybody else will play rhythm. And then they'll stop, and then there'll be a bass solo. And then it'll go, you know. Instead of approaching it that way, we approach it in a different ensemble thought process of, well, while that guy's soloing, I can comp underneath him, and Eric and Ross can do different chordal stuff and different little progressions underneath. And then Ross naturally takes over. But I'll still keep comping, maybe through chord formations, or it's just kind of a bubbling, percolating thing rather than, okay, you go, and then you go, and then you go, and everybody's trying to take these huge ripping solos, and you know, it steers away from that into what can I do to complement the soloist as they work, rather than just go doop 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 doop. You know, it's fun to play in. It's a different, like I said, it's a different thought process.
So, in the past, your side projects like Jeff Austin and Friends, as you mentioned and stuff, that seemed like a kind of an ad hoc thing where you just wanted to go out and have a little fun. This is, from what I'm gathering, your new bit.
This is the band. We're you know, when everything was coming around, we recorded the record called The Simple Truth. We recorded that in March, before everything went. And we had talked that there would be show opportunities, you know, that we made this record, but then there would be show opportunities, and there were festivals that kind of said, hey, I hear you guys are playing together. And then when everything went down, we talked, and everybody just said, let's commit to doing this. So this is the band. This is who we are, you know, and it's good to feel that, because it's not only good to feel that, it's good to make a statement that it's not going to be this kind of, amorphous floating glob. You know, it's this is the band, this is us, and it might wear my name, but we're all members of it that are contributing to it. You know, it's amazing to kind of go, holy crap, look, these guys I'm in this band with. You know, I feel really fortunate. You know, it's you know, hell, if change is going to happen, make it happen in the biggest way. You know, and lots of material, lots of new stuff, like tons of new stuff, and this catalog that we have already that we're playing a lot, you know. It's good for us to play that, you know. We have 50, 60 songs and we rotate them and play them, you know, a lot of stuff every night. But for us, it's great right now. I mean, heck, we've been a band since May. It's October, and we took the whole summer off.
And you're already getting like, you know, nighttime, late night choice slots at festivals and stuff.
It's that part's pretty mind-blowing. We're already, this week has been a fascinating week in festivals that I already know that we're doing next year that I want to tell people about, but I so can't. But things that have already,
yeah, I'll cut it all out.
Things that have already come in where, you know, you'll do this and you'll do the late night slide, then you'll do the, and it's for me, it's a pretty dear thing to have happen, you know. I didn't like to just go to festivals. I like to go and I like to meet the promoter. I like to talk to the promoter and hang out with them. I like to hang out with not just the one, you know, man or woman who ran the joint. Talk to their whole staff and get to know these people. If you think of a festival like a Delfest or a High Sierra or Tim Walther, who throws, you know, was throwing All Good and does the Dark Star, Jubilee and stuff. These are people that over the years became friends of mine. And now that everything's taken a different turn, they're still there. And they're not only there, they're going, you know what you should do? You should come to Hangtown. You should play the Friday night late night. For a brand new band, it's an awesome challenge. It's an awesome thing to kind of go, well, we'll play here, we'll play here, we'll play here. We might not have a ton of people, but we'll do the work, and then we get to play this thing, and, you know, and everybody in this group steps up to that. They don't shy away, you know. So, and we actually just finished mixing down, and we're going to release that set from the late night. So you'll get your Matrix 28-minute ragdoll.
Am I going to have to pay for it?
No, it's free.
All right.
Free. You got it. No. There'll be plenty of stuff to pay for. No.
Hey.
Yeah. No. It's free as can be. So, you know, we that part of it just amazes me, you know. But not every night is a night you get to play the Friday night jam set or whatever you're going to play, you know. It's, you know, the work goes into it too, you know. Unlike Hangtown, where, you know, 800-900 people, you know, watching your late night show, those crowds don't just fall back into your lap. You know, you work for them and you work hard for them. So, well,
and I don't know if you know this, but the late night Hangtown set, that was a separate ticket that folks had to buy.
I do know, and I was amazed that many people bought a ticket to come and see.
Out.
Yeah, felt pretty good. It felt pretty good.
It was awesome.
It was good. It was pretty good. It was we as a band had a blast. You know, it was not only stepping up and grabbing a hold of the reins on that one. You know, we're dads and we're all over 40 and we're all, you know, the last time I saw 4 a.m. I was waking up to tell my daughter that, oh, it's okay, and put a blanket back on her and sleepwalk back downstairs, you know. So we all kind of rolled in and went and took a nap and walked in and had some coffee and got on stage, and 2 some odd hours later just went, wow, well, that was fun. So I learned an amazing lesson this year, that what a true gift just silence and stopping can be. When change comes to somebody in a major way, you can do a number of things. You can continue to do what you did. You can continue to do that, or you can start following this path that you've been on, you know. And I made a lot of changes over the last couple of years in what time I go to bed and who I hang out with and what I do and what kind of person I am, and when all this happened, in addition to, you know, at the time my daughter was 3 months old, and my wife and I have another daughter and everything, and then I got a great piece of advice that said, just stop, just take a break for a minute. And that's when I said, you're totally right. So I said, I did no interviews, I did no shows, I didn't know anything for the better part of 3.5 months. And I would bump into people. I'd be in Colorado and be at a grocery store or something. Somebody say, "Yeah, we're gonna play music again." I went, "Actually, yeah, we're playing a bunch of shows in August and stuff. You know, I'll be fine. We're gonna be around." But learning and then executing that process of just stop for a minute and just be a dad and be a husband and be home and work on your music and on your voice and on yourself, and for myself, not anything to do with my job or my profession or anything like that, just for myself, it paid off in a huge way to just pause, you know, and where you want to kind of, part of you wants to stand and be like, you know, just be a man. Just give it a minute, you know, just give it a minute. And it taught me a lot. It taught me so much, that advice of just shut up for a minute. Just take a break for a second. It really paid off in a major way, just for myself personally, and how it affects me in all aspects of my life. And now coming back and being really active, you know, we do a couple weeks here in October and then in November, and then next year is going to be just full bore, just ready to get to work. So, you know, I hope everybody enjoyed the silence, because it might not be coming again.
Variety
there's a lot of work to be done. My motto is the work continues and the work does. That's all it does. It just, the work continues, and you have to, you either adapt and adjust, or you fall off the edge. I'm just so grateful for, you know, my family, which has been just amazing. My mom, my wife, my kids, and then all the fans that have given so much good stuff and love. You know, we're in Portland, Oregon. It's our first, you know, sold out gig. Not a festival, and not on here. You know, it feels pretty damn good. But I'm also, for the guys that I'm playing music with. You know, I mean, these guys could go and do a million other things. A million other things, and make a living and be successful, but they've chosen to get together, and the four of us get together and see what we can do to move the dialogue forward. And I feel pretty damn good about standing next to all of them on stage. I like our team's chances. I like our team's chances. So it's we're gonna, you know, but the work, you got to work your ass off. You know, nothing gets inherited to you. So that's what we're doing right now, and we're ready. So.
Well, get your work boots on and get to it.
Coffee, then work.
Thank you.
Nice, man. Of course.